Don't be mistaken, this is the hardest wind farm build in Australia. Okay, if not the Southern Hemisphere at this point in time.
And I would suggest it'll be the hardest build for years to come.
Why it's the hardest build in Australia? We've got UXO, we've got quolls.
We have an estimate currently of between 70 to 90 animals.
The other thing that we have here as well, we have endangered plant species.
It's a very unique environment, poorly known. There's very special vegetation types. There's at least 8 rare and threatened plants.
And more importantly, we only are allowed to build or disturb 73.5 hectares of the 2,400. You know, it's a hard build. We've got hundreds and hundreds of conditions of consent that we've got to meet. And the traditional owners of the Mount Emerald site are the Mbarram people.
My name is Stanley Freeman. I am a Mbarram man from the Atherton Tablelands region, and we are here to do a cultural heritage assessment for the RETS project.
We go to locations where the substation, the road network and the turbines will be located, and we come over them in a line searching for evidence of Aboriginal artefacts. They get initially marked with some tape, and we either come back and collect them or mark with a digital GPS their exact location so that they're catalogued.
The other week we found rock art just there. So yeah, it is a valuable heritage site, and that rock art will be reported and it will be registered on the register.
The Mount Emerald Wind Farm in the early 40s was used by the Australian Army as a training facility. We've currently uncovered over 300 pieces of exploding ordnance waste. So far we've recovered 8 live UXO or unexploded ordnance items. They've been successfully destroyed in conjunction with the Australian Army.
This is Melissa. She does all the quoll trapping and catching on the site.
With the collars, we track them across the site, and if we find them within the works areas, we make sure that the works stop in those areas, and we make sure that those animals are protected from any construction activities on that day.
What we've got here is the PowerLink substation bench. That bench is now approximately 98% or 95% done. That's a very important aspect of the project. We have to finish that and this access road, hand it over to the PowerLink so they can build their substation. We've got to meet a contractual commissioning date or energization date, okay? Now the key to this whole project is this access crack. This is the mega build. This was the toughest part of the build. We've got 100 metres to go. I anticipate that road to be open in 7 days.
Due to the hard rock that we've experienced across the site, we've needed to blast a lot of the foundations and hard stands.
Any impact to the transmission line, we're very close to the tower.
If we damage that line, North Queensland will have no power.
All right.
Okay, so...
How much penalty they get? It will blow our budget very fast.
Okay.
The project was first identified by a local businessman, a guy called John Morris. RATCH got involved in the project in about 2010 when we entered into a joint development agreement with John Morris, and it took us the best part of 5 or 6 years to work through all of the environmental approvals. Mount Emerald was one of the first ones to get going a year or two ago.
It's the first utility scale wind farm built in Queensland since 2001, so that's quite a period of over 50, almost close to 20 years.
Just listen to the wind, mate. Perfect.
We've done a lot of statistical analysis looking at the history of the wind on the site, and we estimate that the project will produce about 530 gigawatt hours a year. To put that in context, that's the equivalent to the energy usage of about 80,000 homes. or about a third of the whole of North Queensland. So it's a big contribution to the local energy needs for the region.
It's been 11 months of hardship, I would say, would be the best way to put it. Hardship for all parties involved, hardship on equipment, hardship on personnel, extremely long hours, but we have got it across the line and we've met the date that we were meant to deliver.
I don't like them much.
No, but we have to have power, so we just go with it.
Oh, we're so excited about it.
We've been supporting it from the beginning. We've been pushing for it for ages.
I think the engineering is amazing.
I was absolutely shocked with the community participation when we ran our first blade in today. I wasn't expecting it and I was totally surprised, and it was just lovely to see mums, dads and kids waving on the side of the road, and I thought that was spectacular. We believe we were having difficulty with getting trucks around corners. That was proven wrong with the Rex Andrews drivers, and also much to the appreciation of our civil contractor. They've done a brilliant job to make it happen. That in itself is probably the biggest milestone we'll have on site other than Energization.
Challenges we've experienced over the last 6 months is obviously the weather. One of the ironic things about building a wind farm is you're heavily influenced by wind.
Yeah, so it's higher wind, we can't lift for safety reasons, of course.
We had some damage on the electrical cabling on collector groups 2 and 3. The cables was originally placed with an automatic cabling laying machine, which was supposed to make the whole process much quicker and easier. Unfortunately, there was a malfunction in the system, and that's when we discovered that yes, we have a major issue with 5 kilometers of cable that needed to be replaced. That was not fun, but it's done, and yeah, we are moving on. There was the major rain event that we had in the end of March. So basically just picking up everything from there and understanding what are the issues. We are starting with the energization of the substation. Hopefully we can get that all done, and then we will start with the energization of the collector groups, and then end of this week hopefully the first turbine to be spinning.